All right, today we are diving deep into the future of gaming. We're going to look at the fictional PlayStation 6, which was codenamed Project Prometheus. But here's the thing, this isn't just about more horsepower. This is about a massive shift in strategy, one that could totally end the console wars as we know them.
So let's just get right to it with a really bold statement, one that's kind of the core of this whole analysis. The console war, that decades-long fight between Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, it's over. It's done.
Well, that obviously leads to the next big question, right? If that old war is over, who is Sony even fighting now? And let me tell you, the answer is probably not who you think. It forces us to completely rethink what a gaming console is even for. Okay, so to really get a grip on this new battlefield, we first have to look at Sony's new secret weapon. And nope, it's not just a more powerful box. It's a whole new way of thinking, a real pivot in their strategy. So let's take a look at the specs from this Prometheus architecture. I mean, you see the upgrades you'd expect, right? A Zen 6 processor, an RDNA 5 GPU, 32 gigs of super fast GDDR7 memory. But the real game changer, the part that completely redefines this whole console, is this new thing called the Sony Cortex Neural Unit. And what's just incredible here is how much Sony is betting on this. A full 30%, a huge chunk, of the main processor's physical space is dedicated just to this neural processing unit, the NPU. So this isn't a gaming machine where they just tacked on some AI features. No way. This is an AI-first machine that just so happens to also play games. So, okay, why does that matter? Well, it's all about this idea called neural rendering. Think about it. Traditional rendering is just brute force. If you want 8K, you need a monster GPU that practically dims the lights in your whole neighborhood. But Sony's new approach? It's way smarter. The NPU renders this beautiful 1080p image, and then it uses AI to intelligently hallucinate it, to reconstruct it into a perfect 8K image all in real time. The result? A massive leap in visual quality for just a fraction of the power. But this AI-first approach, it goes way beyond just making things look pretty. It totally changes your relationship with the console itself. It creates an experience that's deeply and maybe even a little unsettlingly personal. This brings us to the new Mind OS. And you gotta hear this. Imagine turning on your PS6 and there are no menus, no icons, nothing. You power it on and the AI just analyzes the time of day, maybe your emotional state, and then it just talks to you. It might say something like, "Hey, you look a little tired. How about a nice, relaxing drive along the coast in GTI VI?" You just say yes, and bam, the game instantly loads. It's a system based on what you want, not on clicking through menus.
So how does it know you're tired? Well, it's reading you directly. The new DualSense 2.0 controller is packed with biometric sensors. There's one that measures the tiny changes in the sweat on your palms. That's your excitement level. While another one tracks your heart rate. It even uses these unique biological signals for security, logging you in the second you pick it up. No more passwords.
And all of this feeds into a concept they're calling emotional feedback. So the system doesn't just know you're playing a scary game, it knows that you, personally, are scared. And the game can react to that in real time. Maybe it makes the audio more intense, spawns another monster, or hey, maybe it even dials back the difficulty if it senses you're getting too stressed out. That barrier between you and the game, it's starting to dissolve. And beyond that core AI loop, the developer kits have apparently revealed a whole bunch of other game-changing features. So let's do a quick run-through of some of the most exciting secret upgrades. First up is something called neural audio. Right now, every single sound you hear in a game is just a pre-recorded file. But with this tech, sounds are generated by AI on the fly. So the clang of a sword hitting armor is calculated based on the type of metal, how fast you swung, the acoustics of the room. Every single sound is totally unique. Then you've got AR portals. If you pair the PS6 with some lightweight augmented reality glasses, it can literally break the boundaries of your TV. Your map, your inventory, your ammo count, all of it could just pop right out of the screen and float there on your coffee table. Next is a really surprising one, a collaboration with Lego. Yeah, Lego. The console's outer plates are going to be fully customizable and buildable. You could literally make your PS6 look like a Star Wars ship or some kind of medieval castle. It's wild. There's also this really innovative feature called power sharing. So when you're not gaming, you can actually rent out your console's powerful NPU to a distributed cloud network. It could help with scientific research or creative projects, and in return, you earn PlayStation Network credits. Your console could literally pay for itself while it's sitting there turned off. Okay, so when you start to put all these pieces together, the AI, the biometrics, this whole new ecosystem, a totally different strategic picture starts to emerge. And it brings us right back to that first question. Who is Sony actually fighting? And this brings us to the core thesis, the big idea of this whole explainer. Sony is no longer fighting Microsoft. Sony is now in a fight with OpenAI and NVIDIA to keep control of the smart living room.
Let's break that down. The PS6 isn't just a game console, it's a Trojan horse. It's designed to bring the most powerful domestic AI we've ever seen right into the center of our homes. And with the power to use that AI to remaster classic games on the fly, they can literally weaponize our nostalgia. Imagine putting in your old Tekken 3 disc and playing it with photorealistic graphics. The goal here isn't to sell more games than Xbox anymore. It's to own the central AI hub of your home before the big tech giants do.
This huge strategic shift also points to one final, really dramatic conclusion about the future of the hardware itself. According to Sony's own long-term vision, the PS6 is designed to be the very last numbered console. After this one, the whole idea of generations just disappears. The PlayStation platform becomes a service that's just constantly being updated, kind of like Netflix or Windows. And the physical box in your living room, it just becomes an access terminal for that service. So, this is the future Sony is building, one where your console is the intelligent, personal heart of your home, which really leaves us with just one final question to think about. Are you ready for a controller that can read your mind?